I wrote you guys a poem.
Oh.
Is this a haiku?
No, it's a landscape poem.
Is this something that you typically do? Is this
No,
something out of the
I
ordinary?
I woke up one morning last week and for some
Oh, I
reason I
thought
thought
that
it was
was
a
the start of
fucking
the
brilliant.
poem.
What?
What?
He said, I woke up one morning last week.
The start of the
No, no, no,
poem.
that's not the start of the poem.
Okay.
I
All
woke
right. Go
up one
back to the
morning
story
last
then.
week and I thought it would be a brilliant idea to write a poem. And it's
Is
probably
it?
the dumbest fucking idea I ever had,
No.
but it just stuck with me
I
all morning.
You're a
love how,
landscaper.
And
yeah, I love how Mike's first immediate response to this has got to be the dumbest thing I've ever done. No.
Stop.
you want to hear my poem?
Yeah, I am. I'm super interested.
It's Here we go. Okay. And I haven't read it in the past week. I think I worked on it Tuesday and that's it. So I wasn't even done. But here we
I
go.
feel like this is like an Eminem Jay-Z moment.
Is this our podcast intro?
Ooh.
Oh, it's no, not unless you have 10 minutes.
Okay.
No, it's not that long. Okay. Ready?
Yeah. Go.
Set. I am a landscaper. Hear me roar as I make my way to the corner store to buy cigarettes and pizza and Red Bull with wings. No wonder I can't afford life's finer things. I show up early and go home late. One time, I lost the key to the gate to the big job for the city, and the client was mad. Don't you wish you had the responsibilities I have? My company builds things with trees and rocks. Some days are so tough, I wear holes in my socks. One time, I rode in the box of the truck. It was a punishment from my boss for getting the bobcat stuck in the mud on the job site on a rainy Thursday, but anything is better than docking my pay. I once put gas in the big diesel packer. I'll never live down the day that I ruined our whacker. But on the plus side, we brought a brand new Weber. Are you starting to think my landscape rhyme is clever? Our dually is loud, but the turn signals work fine. I highly doubt the MTO would mind because our load is tarped and we've tightened our binders. And the last time we got pulled over, they just gave us a reminder that the stickers were due and the payment was late and that we needed to fix the broken tailgate. And the truck tires were bald and the trailer tires too. And the trailer brakes seemed to be fixed with brick glue. The ownership was gone because the new guy lost it and we left the yard when the windshield was barely defrosted to get coffee and breakfast and sit in the truck until the boss shows up and makes us trud through the muck to unload the tool trailer and start our day. Who was the idiot that set up the transit that way? And where are all the wall bars? I say with a chuckle as the goddamn transit beeps on the knuckle. When the bars are all set, I get the new kid to screed and escape to the trailer to smoke some bad weed. I'll come out when I'm high as a kite, or I hear one of the guys get in a fight with the bylaw who's complaining of all the shit on the road. Where else did you want me to dump this big load? I operate a quick cut saw. I cut concrete and asphalt and breathe it in raw. I don't wear safety glasses or earmuffs. It's more important the guys think that I'm tough. I can push a wheelbarrow until I can't feel my legs, and then I recharge with one of Mike's pickled eggs. That's it. That's all I got.
That is the greatest landscaping poem ever.
That's
Ever. That is
great.
like, you need to
It
do an
was,
official, you got to do an official reading of that. An
Yeah,
official
that
full
needs to be
mullet.
published.
Yeah.
maybe we could make a full day out of it at the Confirm conference.
That's so good. Chad, you've never written
No, I
poetry
don't write.
before?
No, I'm just fucking around.
That's
That's
so
awesome.
good.
I
One,
uh I was
that
gonna
is,
make it a full day, but yeah. Anyway,
it's awesome. It's the
thank you.
best thing ever. It's so fun. So one time I walked around LO Congress and I recorded. It's on the YouTube, Lakeridge YouTube, and I recorded uh everybody I bumped into that I knew saying a line from The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. Post The Raven. And everyone
Did you
said
know it
one
all by
line.
heart or what?
No, I had it on a piece of paper. And then I
Oh,
got them each to read their line and I recorded it. And then I cut it all into one huge video. At LO Congress, we should have all these landscaper guys read one line from that poem and then cut
That's
it into one
good.
big.
that would be amazing.
It
That's
was
so good.
the. It's on the Lakeridge YouTube channel. It's called The Raven, and it's literally like all the LO people and all the people we hung out with back then reading one line from The Raven.
That's neat.
We
I like
we
that.
did it at the Lakeridge Christmas party one year too. We all read one line from "Twas the Night Before Christmas," and then I cut it into a video. But that poem would be the best thing at
That would be
Congress
so good.
to
Yeah.
get everyone to read a line.
I'll
It would
send
be
it to you guys. So you
yeah,
guys can
yeah,
have it to
it's
keep.
sick. Yeah, it's awesome.
It's,
Someone should listen. Someone listening will know how awesome it is, and they will talk about how awesome it is.
Yeah.
maybe one day that'll be my second 15 minutes of fame.
We should get everyone from Hardscape Instagram to send us them reading a selfie video of them
Oh
reading one
yeah.
line, right? And then
Perfect.
cut it all together into tilt rotate. You need a tilt rotator verse. How you got to have a tilt rotator spun.
That audio is gonna go viral in the hardscape space. They're gonna have tilt rotators going to Chad reading this poem.
Fucking
Absolutely.
teenage poetry about landscaping.
Poetry about landscaping is that's the
It's
best poem ever.
That is.
thank
Did
you.
did anything come to mind when he was reading that? Or are those based on true stories, Chad? You said lost the key to the gate, and I immediately thought of myself. Um I rented a piece of equipment once, and it was one of my guy's first days, and I must have put the key on like my tailgate and then driven off with the piece of equipment and
Ah,
got to the job site before my guys showed up and then realized I didn't have the key. Realized, oh, I must have put it on the tailgate. It's probably somewhere near the rental place. So then I had to drive up and down this busy street, get out of my truck, and try to find this key on the side of the road. Meanwhile, my guys both showed up on site, were calling me, and we're like, hey, Mike, we're here. Like, where are you? And I was just like, just on the side of a busy road trying to find this key. And then, but my initial guy that I had hired, this happened on the same day that he started as well. Not the same situation, but I was really late, and he had to wait for me. And he was just telling this guy, yeah, this happens all the time. He's always late. Ended up finding the key, ending up showing up like half an hour to an hour late. But that's what I thought about when you talked about the missing gate key.
When
that
he
one was. Go ahead, Mike.
Oh no, no.
Other Mike.
Oh, do you want my missing gate key? Because I thought of something immediately when that line too.
Go for it.
I was floating equipment uh for a company, a client, and drove all the way down to Queen's Park in Toronto to get this piece of equipment. And when I got there, the gate was locked. And I called them and said, "Where's the gate key?" The guy was supposed to leave it to the side. And they said, "Oh," and they called him and he said, "No, I didn't leave it to the side. There's no gate key." And I said, "That's fine. I have my own key." And they said, "Do you have a key?" And I said, "I don't go anywhere without a still 420." And I cut my way into the gate and took the machine out. And the client was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Cutting the fence open." Like, it's all on security cameras. I'm like, "I don't care. I am not driving back to Queen's Park to get this fucking excavator. It is coming with me." I cut the gate open and hop on. But I didn't cut the lock. I cut a link in the chain so that the guy could use the lock again on
Yeah,
Monday.
of course. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't cut the lock because at first I was going to chop the lock in half because I was so fucking pissed. But I did not do that. That's the story that came to mind. So what is the actual story?
So we were doing this pumping station compound. It's like I don't know, 200 by 200 fenced in compound for we did some shrubs in there and some sod and all that stuff. And we had to water, but this thing gets locked every day so that obviously people don't go in and fuck around in the pumping station. So the GC's like, the Home Depot's next door. Go buy your own locks and lock it to the other locks that are there. So it's like a daisy chain, so that
Yeah.
there's like 4 different locks, right? There's one for the city, one for the civil, one for the GC, and one for the landscaper. And you only need to unlock yours to get in.
Yeah.
But my fucking guys couldn't understand the concept of locking your lock to someone else's lock in order to open the fence. So they're all fucked up, and they're locking some of the other contractors out by it's
Yeah,
just a fucking shit.
because they're locking their lock through the chain and the other
Yeah.
locks are hanging there.
Yeah,
But if they had just rung it through the other lock
yeah.
and locked it, yeah,
Then yeah.
yeah.
But, like
I could
they
so
couldn't
see
get
that.
it, and it happened like 3 times. I'm like, do you understand now? And they're like, yeah. And then you would leave, and you'd lock up, and then the fucking guy on the water truck would call. He'd be like, "What the fuck? I can't get in. We're locked out. The locks that aren't locked right." Jesus Christ! Never spent so much money driving back and forth to fix the water guy.
I know exactly. I know why that would get. I know
Yeah.
why you were doing it, and I know why it would get fucked up.
Yeah, yeah.
We
It's,
we have a C can. Speaking about locking stuff, and opening the C can was such an issue, and it actually does suck to open C cans if you open them regularly. That we bought a metal door, and the fabricator guy cut the metal door into the C can, so now everyone has a fucking key to get, and it's a door, and you
Like a
open
man
it, and
door.
lock it. Man door in the
I mean-
C can.
oh,
I have a good story. So we buy this metal door, and I say to Drake, just get all the fucking hardware from the door guy. But metal doors are usually in like highly secure places. Right?
yeah.
So, but I said specifically, get all the hardware from one place. I don't care if it costs an extra $10. I don't want to drive all over the blah, blah, blah. So he just said, give me a door lock, give me a door handle, give me all the shit, because he's doing exactly what I said he should do. So we get the door in, the fabricator guy at the yard's putting the lock in, and they give me the key, and they're like, can you go get some keys cut for the door? Sure, no problem. I go to Home Hardware, I hand him the key. Guy says, yeah, this is a reverse groove cut key, bro. I don't have this kind of key, man. This is some really specific shit. I was like, okay. It's like a door to our C can. What the fuck? So there's like an actual professional lock place in Whitby. So I go to it, and I go in, and I give the guy the key, and the guy says, oh, this is a Sheeran key or whatever the fucking thing is. And I go, sure, bro, whatever. I don't care. He goes, how many keys do you want? I said, I don't know. Give me 15. There's a lot of us. And he goes, are you sure? I said, yeah. Dude, I got 15. Who cares? He goes, these keys are $17.50 each plus tax because there's some ultra high security key. Like, this is a door to our fucking C can. I come back. I go, Drake, why do we have some crazy high security lock on the C can? He goes, you told me to get the hardware from wherever the door came from. This is what the hardware that they have because they deal in high security things. I'm like, I totally fucked this up. 100% my fault. So now when I hand out the keys, I say to everyone, listen, I'm not going to get pissed when you lose this key, but you need to understand that these keys are $20 each, please. So that's how
you got the new door put in, did you permanently lock the other door?
It has a lock on it, so you could still get in that way.
You
But
could.
all of us, but in particular, some of the women we employ were having trouble getting the door open because it is hard to open. Like it's terrible. It's just a weird.
Is there nothing Brad could have done to remedy that?
I'm sure he could have.
If these little Chinese people could open the sea cans in China, could someone here
so
not
I have
open it?
two. We have Brad that fixes a lot of stuff for us and then we also have Paul, who's the metal fabricator, So this was more of a Paul problem and not a Brad problem, getting this door into the sea can. This was a Paul issue. So he got the door into the sea can. It is really nice. I think it's awesome. But this week, how we bled money at Paver King was buying $20 fucking keys because we couldn't get a door lock for a sea can that had a $3 key. We needed to get the $20, which again, 100% my fault. And everyone was just Drake was just following literally the exact instructions I gave him, word for word. But we now have a ultra high security lock on our sea can. So, we do store valuable stuff like winter tires, and we have lockers in the sea can. I don't
Wow.
think anyone uses them, but
My
and
shop doesn't even have those.
the lockers were cheap.
Really?
We got
I
like
should
three banks of lockers for like $500.
I
I
could
just
use
go
those.
I just Googled it on Kijiji and said used lockers, and like 50 people selling them showed up. And then we drove to this like sketched out storage unit because I just picked whoever was the cheapest because it's a locker in a sea can. We're not like we're already pretty low here. I don't think we need to source the most expensive lockers to put in the dirty sea can. So So we went
Uh,
to the sketched out storage unit, and the guy opened the store. We met some guy. He got us through the gate. We drove around to his storage unit, and I was like, "This is where they steal our kidneys.
of
Like this
course.
is where the kidneys go." And he opened it up, and then it was just full of lockers. And he said, "Which bank do you want?" So we picked 2 or 3 banks. We gave him 500, and we left.
Away you went.
Yeah, they just Googled used lockers. They weren't hard to get. I think if people came to now that there's a door in the sea can and you can get into it without a 30-minute fight with the two other doors and the weird lock that's not like, I think now people might use the lockers more
Hmm.
potentially because you can actually access because the mic solution to the shitty door on the sea can was to just leave the door open and not lock it.
We do that.
But
But the
everyone
only thing
wasn't
you can, yeah.
overtly accepting of that. People were like, stuff's going to go missing. Like, well, technically it's my stuff. Why are you guys also? They are way more worried about it. I'm glad we have people that care so passionately. I am because they often just turn me in the right direction. They do. There's also every single person that works for us is awesome. They
My
always
guys are pretty great. But
they always try to turn me in the right direction when I'm obviously going askew. Like, yeah, we should lock up all our shit. That seems like a pretty obvious thing. Or I'm askew on it. So, anyways,
uh,
they are. So that's what it will provide easier access to the Def Cube next year too.
oh, it's coming back. It's making it come back.
I
The
don't.
def
I think I'm gonna get it back. I kind of like the stories.
same one or a different one?
Well, same company. Someone else might have our Def Cube now.
Uh,
I would get the same Def Cube back. It was nice to use it to fill the truck, especially if I get a diesel truck. I don't want to pour Def jugs in.
yeah, but your truck is, yeah, I guess two of them month, maybe
I
one or
don't.
two.
How many do you use?
Way more in the Ram than in the Ford. But I
I
want
heard
to say,
Fords are really good on Def.
yeah, they surprised. Like we've got a F550 that's gone through maybe 4 jugs in its life of 60,000 kilometers.
That's
But
pretty good.
yeah, mine will go through 4 in 6 months. Easy,
Wow.
my Ram. But
Did you trade your Ford in, or did you put it into the fleet?
I traded it. It was a 2017 with 140K on it. I got 55K for it.
What model?
Lariat,
Not a platinum though.
not a platinum.
So it didn't have the big outrageous, all weird chrome tailgate.
No, no, didn't have that.
Disappointing.
Yeah, I know. But
Did you trade in the Lariat at the Dodge dealer?
yes, at
Were they
Kingston
happy
Dodge.
that
I
you
don't,
switched to Dodge?
no, they don't give a shit either
What
way.
made you switch to Dodge?
The interior, I wanted to try something new. because like so all these brands like every 5 years they do like a
That's
body
another full shot there.
upgrade. Mike's ripped.
It's just sipping, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. So every 5 years they do a
So
full upgrade.
yeah, they do like a full exterior upgrade to trucks, right? And
Yeah.
I had a 2017 and it was last year, so I'm like, do I want to get another truck that's gonna be new but look old in 2 years? Or do I want to try something new? So I bought the Ram, and honestly, I'm happy with it. Like, I really love the truck. Like, it's been a year now, and I'm still
They
happy to
have the
drive.
best interior.
They're fucking beautiful inside,
Yeah.
like
Does yours have the
unbelievable.
full screen?
Yeah, it's bigger than my computer screen right now.
So we have one with the full screen
Yeah,
and one with the half screen. And Drake's has the half screen in the controls because he likes the controls better than the whole
really.
screen. And Billy's has the whole screen.
Hmm. I like
Oh.
no problems with mine. Knock on wood so far. Um, other than that little transmission issue, that hiccup, it's gone now.
Why? What did they do to it?
I don't know. They did something. It wasn't very expensive either, so
Why would it cost you anything? The truck's brand new.
no, it's not. I bought it as a 2019. Like I bought it as a 2-year-old model. I couldn't find a new one, right? It was at
Oh,
that
so
time
that one
whenever,
was used when you bought it?
yeah, yeah, I had
Oh,
80,000 kilometers when I bought it.
oh
Still paid through the
wow.
nose, but
It should have been still covered under warranty though, because it should have 160 powertrain on a
yeah,
diesel.
the last thing I want to do is go back to the place that I bought it because first off, it's an hour and a half away, and like enough, way won't go
All,
there.
all
But
about the level of service you get.
yeah, yeah. Honestly, I've never been treated well at a car retailer ever. Buying
Any
any
car
new vehicle.
retailer?
Any time I bought a car, they don't take me seriously ever.
Do you think it's the tattoos? I'm being
I
on.
think
I'm
so.
not.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah, no,
think do you think it's the mullet or the
it could
samurai
be.
bun?
I never went in with my hair in a bun, but it could be, and fine if that's how they want to treat me. I guess I don't give a shit, really. But
Right.
like, I still have money to spend. I still have to buy things, right?
Yeah.
Like, I never
Yes.
got treated that way whenever I walked into a Kubota dealer
No,
buying a
that's
hundred
different.
hundred thousand dollar skid steer or whatever, right?
Yeah,
So
but those people are used to so
dirty people walking.
well they are.
Yeah, no, I get
They're
it.
going to be less judgment because they know people that are walking in with enough money in their pocket to buy an 8-ton excavator with cash.
Yeah,
Like they know, right? It's different. Mark, like my daughter wanted a purple iPhone for her birthday and Christmas. They're very close together. So I went to the Best Buy because I'm in charge of getting this phone, which doesn't seem like and this podcast will come out. Not that she would ever listen to the podcast, anyways, but if she did, will come out well after her birthday. But she wanted purple iPhone 14 or whatever for her birthday, and she's had three phones in her life. She's never lost one. She's always been super responsible. So sure, okay, that's what you want. So I went in and I said I need a purple iPhone. She never really asks for anything, but this is something I need a purple iPhone. And the guy said, oh well. And I was coming from work, right? And the guy said, oh, we don't have any 128 purple iPhones. I said, okay, well, what do we do about that? And he said, well, we have a 250 gigabyte purple iPhone. And I said, okay, great. I'll just have that one. And he's like, it's $200 more, sir. And I looked at him and I was like, I don't give a fuck about $200, bro. I could fucking care less about 200. Like
yeah,
$200 is a completely meaningless amount of money to me. I
yeah,
spend $1,000 on fuel before you got out of bed.
yeah.
I
Absolutely.
could
Yeah,
fucking care less about just the phone. In retrospect, the phone is $1,000, and this is an extra $200. Like if I'm already $1,000 in on this fucking phone,
yeah.
I don't give a fuck about. I was just explaining the simple economics of this to this guy. I
Did
think,
you like feed it to him right there? Like you were
yeah,
actually,
I literally said, he's like, but the thing went down. Like I said, I said, I need a purple iPhone 14. Like I said, well, what carrier would you like to finance it with? I said, yeah, bro, I don't finance cell phones.
Yeah.
It's a phone.
It's a phone. We're paying the whole thing right here, right now.
He
Let's go.
said,
Get it out of the
oh,
back.
he said, oh, I said, I need a purple one, whatever, 14, just a little one. She doesn't want a big one. And then he said, well, we don't have, he said, well, they're $1,000. And I said, whatever. I don't care. Like, do you have this? He said, well, then he said, we don't have this one. And I said, okay, great. What do we do about it? And he said, well, I do have this 256 gigabyte one. I said, sure, fine. Just get me that. I don't care. That's when he said, well, this is $200 more. I was like,
Well,
okay, then.
yeah.
Well, I didn't. Yeah, I guess I kind of get. I just literally said, yeah, bro, I don't give a shit about $200, whatever. Because I said, cool. First, I said, cool, whatever. Can you just get me the phone? Like I have other things to do. And he was like, you understand this is $200. And when he said it the second time, that's when I said, listen, buddy. There's five of
I'm
them
the
standing.
paver king, okay?
Five of them standing.
Do you
behind.
know who you're talking to?
I didn't say that. That's not what I said at all. There's like five of them standing behind the thing, and I was like, okay, bro, like, are you picking on me because I'm wearing a block Teco sweater that's covered in grease and I look dirty? Like, so I said, listen, bro, I don't give a fuck about $200. Go get the
said,
fucking phone.
Would you treat Interlock Ian like this?
He's a clean looking guy, so maybe.
True. Yeah, he is pretty clean.
He's a pretty clean. I mean, he's got a beard. He's got a well trimmed beard. He always looks good. He's always, I don't. I'm a mess. I look like a mess every day, all day. Everywhere I go, I look like a mess. I don't change where, like, I just look.
I think that's a landscaper thing, though. Like, we generally are a little rough around the edges. Not all of us.
No, there's some guys that aren't. I agree.
Yeah.
But I would say that a lot of people do.
Do you think that's a measure of success for landscaping? Like, did the clean cut guys go further in landscaping than the rough cut guys? Because like I'm pretty rough, but I'm still doing all right for myself.
So like in construction, the wealthiest guy I've ever been around on a regular basis in construction was the poorest looking guy I've ever been around.
I love that. I like
in construction.
That.
He was very, very rough around the edges, or probably still is. I just haven't seen him in a while, but I would say is very, very rough around the edges. But
is that part of like the old mentality of business, or do you think that's still going to be a thing? Like, can we still get away with looking this rough and being so successful?
I think it just depends. Like, to be honest, even there's like millionaires who, walk around looking not like a millionaire, right? And I think it just depends on the person, and I don't think it's anything.
There's no set criteria for success. Like, that's good to know. I can look this way.
There's some people that are going to be really flashy, right?
Yeah.
But that's with any industry. Like, the more I think about it, the more I see like the flashy people in certain industries, and then in the same industry, there's those people that are even way better off that are looking like, much less flashy, essentially.
So if a guy drives up on me in a brand new Denali, HD, dually, fully loaded, whatever, and then another guy drives up in like a 2007 that's in obviously in like very well in good shape and lifted and sharp, I'm more impressed by the guy in the 2007 because that probably motherfucking paid cash for that shit. Ain't no one loaning you money on a 2007. Driving up to me in a truck that's worth 150 grand and proving to me that you can borrow 150 grand from the bank is totally fucking meaningless to me.
Right.
It means nothing. Everyone who's driving any vehicle that's leased or they borrowed the money to get it, it's totally meaningless to me. It's nice, and I like the ride, and I can say it's a beautiful truck, and I think it's awesome. But in terms of me being like, that guy's a success, he's got a Denali. If you borrowed the money for your Denali, then yeah, it's meaningless. Anyone could have borrowed that money.
But what I've learned and what I've seen is like, especially in like the online space, is not everyone thinks like you, where somebody pulls up in an amazing ride and they think that way. They see a Lamborghini and they think, oh, success.
Yeah.
Or they show up in a beautiful vehicle and they think success. And it's really interesting how that might change in the coming year or so.
Like, if you think about it, sometimes like some of the rigs that we have to drive around in for work are worth just as much as these fucking McLaren
Right.
or like a Lamborghini and shit. So you got $100,000 truck pulling a $20,000 float with $150,000 machine on the back. Like it takes a lot of fucking money to do this sometimes. And then you hop out and you're full of grease and you're all dirty, you got your safety vest on. And like, so, so I don't know. Yeah, I guess looks can be deceiving or
Yeah.
something like that, right?
So
Oh no, Mike's frozen now.
Oh no, is he?
say you took
I thought he
Yeah.
was just being quiet.
pair of
No,
coffee
he's frozen.
checks and
Start again, Mike.
Oh
now
my. It's that
am I back
C
yet?
drive.
Am
It's
I
that
back yet?
C drive,
Am I
man.
back? Am I back?
Yeah, you're back
I
now.
know the C drive
Yeah.
is fucked. I'm back. So our blue truck, just in real time, was $240,000. The float that gets pulled behind it is $60,000 brand new, so float. So I'm at 300. And then if you put the 8 ton on it, now ours is a used 8 ton, but let's
Is
say
it me or is he going off again?
I
Yeah, he's
put a
going
new
off
8 ton
again.
on it, I'm at $500,000 rolling down
But
the
I
road.
know what he's getting at. I know that
Yeah,
he's adding up all this and it's
Am I
equal
back
to
now?
or more
you're
than. Yeah,
back
you're
now,
back.
Am
I
I
think.
okay? So an 8 ton excavator, our float, and our dump truck is 500 grand.
Yeah.
Right.
Half $1,000,000 all day long rolling down the road.
Yep. To
Shit.
go make how much money a day? You figure, maybe 3, 4 grand a day.
Oh, there you are. I'm back. Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
You
totally.
know, which I mean,
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
it's yeah. But this is the way we choose to make a living,
The
right?
you know what
But
the
how
okay,
much
but the
time would you expect something like that to pay off an investment? Right? Like how much I don't know if you guys have kind of gone off on like the numbers to think about how much time would you require to be able to pay back that investment and then some, right? Like 3 or 4 grand on a $500,000 rig. How much time would you need to be able to,
you need 100 days.
well, to make those numbers work, that it makes sense
Oh,
to then pay that initial cost to then continue with that, right?
well, it's just yeah. I mean,
If the work's there, it makes sense, right?
yeah. It it it's not hard to make. I guess it's all hard. Everything is hard. But say the blue truck is like $3,700 a month. The payment on it. Um, we put 40K down on it, so yeah, it's like $3,700. So
Oh no, not again.
I think we're just getting into some value.
This is
average,
I
like
was
its
trying to
gross is like
push.
$1,500 a day. Oh, you guys are gone.
Yeah,
no, you're gone.
you're gone. I was trying to push for some value, but it doesn't look like.
Guys, I gotta get I gotta figure out how to get this shit off the C drive. Okay. Guys,
Yeah.
all right. I gotta shut this down because my C drive is fucked. My whole computer's shutting down.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can
I
hear
can
you.
hear you now.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I gotta figure I have
He's got zero room left in his
megabytes
C
left on
drive.
the C drive, so the whole computer's shutting down for whatever reason. So okay. All right, bye. This is the end of
Bye.
that hour. It was horrible. Bye. Later, guys. Bye.
We should say that this is the final episode before the actual meetup at the LO Congress. So if you're listening to this, hopefully we'll have something published for the meetup for the LO Congress because we haven't organized it by this point. So see us at LO Congress.
Sounds great. Can't wait.
Yeah.
And Mike's frozen.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'd have something
Okay.
great to say too.
Okay. My computer's done. Bye. Okay.